Today's February 27th, 2019, and this is episode 57 of PlaneSavers. Good morning, everybody. The wind is crazy out here in Yellowknife this morning. It is minus 13, which is minus 8 degrees Fahrenheit. And I want to get you guys out of the wind. That was my father taking off for red deer. Yeah, hopefully the wind noise wasn't too bad for you guys. Whew. Okay, so we're out of the wind a bit. Oh man, yesterday was quite the long episode, and I know you guys have been enjoying that. Oh, there he goes. After even that episode being so long, I forgot there was a promise made in the previous episode before yesterday's about our D-Day bird perhaps getting a new name, and I left that on a cliffhanger and I forgot to mention it yesterday, but today I'm gonna right that wrong, and yeah, I'm gonna go through the history of all the names of the D-Day bird and what it is going forward. So that's very special. That's a big moment, actually. But while I go in, I have to do a conference call and some buffalo stuff this morning. So while I'm working, I'm going to send you guys to Coventry to see an update from Fright, our C57 brother in the UK for UK PlaneSavers. So yeah, so you guys, I'm going to throw you guys on an airplane. You guys head off to Coventry, and when you guys get back, I'll be waiting for you in the boardroom with an update. So we'll see you soon. Have a good flight.
Okay, good morning everyone. We'll try a little Facebook live tour of the hangar here. This is the first time we've given this a go, so bear with us. You can see work's continuing on the two engines here. They're pretty much ready to go, but there's still a few sort of little bits to fiddle around with. So let's see if we can climb up here and give you a bit of a zoom in on the engine here. So you can see since we've been here last, that's the prop control at the top. That looks like that's pretty well complete actually. So that's looking pretty good. There's still plenty of sort of plumbing work to do, if you will, just not just the engines but on the aircraft in general. So that's the battery boxes. They're nearly complete. Yeah, still there's all the pipe work still on the side of the aircraft there, and the hamburger door. Guys are still working in the cockpit on the DV windows. They're pretty well ready to go actually, so it's good. Let's go down and have a look here. So obviously the aircraft's been stood on its wheels for some time, so that's good. We've got a few little connections to do on the landing gear, the hydraulic systems. The brake assemblies are being built up separately, so they're not too far off. So this is the other part of the center section which is being worked on at the moment. Some of this is painted, some of it's painted inside, the other half will probably be painted next week. So we hope to have this on the aircraft, I'd say probably in the next 2-3 weeks, something like that, and that opens up a load more possibilities work-wise for the guys. Yeah, let's continue walking around. Let's go and have a look at the back of the aircraft and jump inside, see what's going on in there. Cargo door is finally complete. All the channels and the upper and lower channel is done. You can see the cockpit's is nicely painted inside now. We've got some bulkheads going in the front here. A lot of the hydraulic work in the front is now complete. That's looking really, really neat actually. So that's great. So yeah, again, we're waiting on some of the stuff from Canada, the rear bulkhead, and a few other bits and pieces. Obviously the original floor as well. That won't go in quite yet. So the static line you can see at the top of the video there. That's installed. That's fixed in now. So that's not coming out again. So Neil's responsible for most of the stuff up the front here, the navigator station and the radio operator station. He's been busy sourcing all of the original instruments and bits and pieces that you've probably seen on one of our video updates. So you've probably got some stuff to do with that today, Neil, have you? What you do? You're measuring the navigator's table and a few other bits?
Over Christmas we fabricated the tables, the wooden tables for the radio operator's compartment and the navigator's compartment. Luckily we got a new old stock navigator table, so today I'm just basically, I've got the stuff that we made over Christmas up with me, so I'm start going to be putting them into position just to measure to see exactly if what the Douglas drawings kind of said the size was supposed to be matches what we've got here on the aircraft itself. And I brought up a few more components that I've been sourcing over the past couple of months as well. So we'll see.
So yeah, another busy day for Neil. You can see he's modelling the Night Fright A2 jacket there. Let's have a look at the back of that. Very good, very good. Right, let's wander back down. Have a little look in the back of the aircraft. You can still see we're mainly sort of waiting for the rear bulkhead. A little bit of work to do in the back. You see the chair there, the original chair we've got at the back. Let's go and have a little look outside and some of the other individual bits that the guys are working on. So the tailplane obviously still got to go on. That's probably a few weeks away yet, I would say, and some work to do still on the fin as well. But we're getting there. We're getting there. There's still quite a bit to do, a lot to do, but we're getting there. This area over here is where the guys are doing all of the paint stripping of the parts. Looks like they're working on some window frames there that they're prepping and some pipe work. So what else have we got over here? Looks like some ducting, probably for the cabin heating system there. Wings in the background, various different sets of wings there. If we're honest, we haven't completely decided which set of wings we're going to use yet. We've probably got 3 options. We'll take the most expeditious route, if you will, because obviously we're up against it time-wise. Those are the assemblies for the rudder pedals there, I think, all painted and ready to go in. What have we got here? We're busy playing instrument panels at the moment. It's a balance between originality and practicality. So we're trying to match up all the original instruments here and put them into the panel so we can get that ready for installation. So we've got some pretty cool original instruments there. Just trying to match them up with the original Douglas drawings, really, to see what would have been installed on our particular airplane. That's the modern radio rack that you can see there in the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of put that behind the hole there where the original autopilot would have gone. What else can I show you guys? Ben is working on the tailplane here. There's a few little repairs going on here. You can see just a few little bits to do there. This over here is our paint shop. Looks like we've got some of the pipe work for the aircraft in there just coming through the paint shop. So yeah, that's where all the bits come through the shop in there. Let's just go through here quickly and have a look in the last sort of area. Really, some of this stuff is some of the most complicated stuff on the aeroplane. Really, let's see if we can give you an example. You can just see a massive cables and things that all need to go back together. It's pretty complicated stuff, really, but. Yeah, we're getting there. Lots of progress. I haven't been up here for a few weeks since we came back from Canada, really. So it's good to see some good progress. So yeah. Well, hope that worked out, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, let us know, and we'll try and do this sort of thing more regularly. Or if there's anything we can do to change it, let us know. But hope you enjoyed that. I wanted to end today's video by saying hello to a couple of very special people. You might remember when we were out in Canada stripping the parts off the parts machine out there a couple of weeks ago, Jason Holloway donated some money to us for the boys to go and have a coffee and warm up. Well, I think that coffee ended up turning into beer, but hey ho, thanks anyway, Jason. But since we've been back, Jason came up to see Night Fright at Coventry and had a great tour of the hangar there and saw what the guys are up to. And this has sparked his twin boys, Harry and Bobby, to have a real sort of interest and a passion in Night Fright and what the guys are doing. So have a look at these really cool pictures that the boys sent us. I think this is Bobby drawing what looks like Operation Market Garden, which of course Night Fright was part of. So there's Night Fright at the lead of the drop there for Market Gardens. So just wanted to say a really big hello to the boys, Bobby and Harry, and thanks so much for these awesome pictures. And we look forward to keeping you up to date with progress.
The Night Fright crew now has their own YouTube page, guys. Go check it out. I'm the 10th subscriber. Let's see if we can get these guys to 1,000 subscribers. They deserve it. The video quality is amazing. And thank you guys for sharing your story with us. And let's move back to Yellowknife. We are in the boardroom, and I made up a little bit of a history lesson here. So our D-Day bird has a few name milestones. I'm going to go through and give you guys a little bit of a history lesson. But this gives me an excellent opportunity to tell you guys that we have a new website, PlaneSavers.com. Benoit did an amazing job. Everything I explained today, every question that you possibly have on this airplane that we know the answer to is on PlaneSavers.com. Check that out after the video. It's, insane. You can spend an hour on there reading everything. It's so cool. But let's get to the numbers right now. We got our D-Day bird here and a whole bunch of dates. What do these dates mean? Well, actually, these dates are names, basically, technically, identifications of our aircraft. In January 44, she was built with the serial number 12253. So that was her first name. On January 24th, 44, she got the military number 42-9245. 1. So there we go. So now that's her second name. So February of that same year, she actually goes to the RAF and is FZ668. Okay, when she started at Trans-Canada Airlines, April 4th, 47, she was CFTER. That's her first Canadian registration. And in the 60s, when she went to the DOT, she got CFDTD. And in December 89, for some reason, they moved the F to the other side of the thing. I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's because they were switching to G's. Let me know in the comments if you know why they switched that. Okay, here's the thing. On August 15th, 2017, her registration, just like this marker, was canceled. That's right. So our aircraft has no name, no registration. So this is canceled. This is invalid. This is invalid. This is invalid. This is invalid. This is technically a reference, and all she has is her serial number 12253. So what are we going to do? March of next month, she's going to have a new name. So what's it going to be? Okay, folks, this is where I come into play. It's my decision on what the airplane is going to be called. And, at first glance, you would think, hey, let's just keep it DTD. But the more I look into it, the more I be attached to this airplane. I realize that it was abandoned as DTD. It was left in a field as DTD. It sat for 25 years, getting stripped, stolen apart as DTD. It had a very good life when it was flying for Transport Canada, but I believe that it should be reborn. Every moment of our aircraft's life, it got a new registration and a new name. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to give it a new name. I've already contacted Transport Canada and put in a request to hold a registration for me. I'm very excited, but I don't want to tell you guys quite yet because there's a long ways to go. We have to get the data plates approved, and we have to get the registration and everything approved before we do it. So I will eventually, I'll find a creative way to tell you guys what the new name will be, and I'm excited. This is going to be a big step, and we're going to give new life to an aircraft that was so very close of losing it. Folks, the episode isn't even done yet. Let's head back inside. I got some more little tidbits to show you guys, and let's get this Wing Wednesday moving. Let's get to North Dakota, where young Tucker here has handmade a Buffalo Airways DC-3. Thank you, Tucker. This thing looks amazing. Thank you for watching. And now let's actually head over to the Netherlands, where we got a new friend.
Hi everyone. Hi Mikey in particular. I'm Ronald from Holland. Big fan of your show PlaneSavers. Welcome here at Drachten Airport. It's one of the most northern airports in the whole of Netherlands, and Netherlands is a part of Europe, neighboring country of Germany, so try to Google it. The reason I sending you this email is, for this video via internet, is that I just want to give you a shout out and show you my support for your project, and that's the reason I purchased this hat. I'm really enthusiastic about what you do over there and how you do it, and I think it relates to a lot of airplane owners and lovers. So actually this is my airplane, and I did just a tiny bit of plane saving on it, not to the extent of a lot of other projects I see on your show. But I did all of the wiring, new wiring and new cockpit panel, etc. And I'll throw in some pictures to support this story. But I think love for aviation equals the need for plane saving, etc. And I think you do an excellent job in that over there in Canada. And I literally enjoy every episode, and I just can't wait to see it every morning on my device. So I just want to say big thumbs up for you and for your crew as well, also for all the fans. And yeah, I just want to say keep up the good work, and see you next time. Bye.
Okay, folks, hope you liked today's episode. Where did we go? We went to Coventry, North Dakota, and the Netherlands. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Check out the new merchandise stores if you haven't already. And tomorrow's going to be a big episode. I got lots to do. I got modern day ice pilots. I got a Miss Montana update. I got lots, man. So hopefully join me tomorrow, Thursday. And you be safe out there. You fly safe. And we'll be seeing you very, very soon. Cheers. Bye.